You know, I find it funny sometimes when I read different posts, or I sometimes you hear responses against even me. Um, One of the things I find funny was a thing to do list when you start a relationship. One of the things was to free yourself from negative people. And the word negative has such a broad meaning. It's not even funny. It's a funny, I dare to say, level of economy here. It's like they see it as a negative. They see the negative as a negative. They see but what is a negative? Well, it's against goodness. It's good. It's against the positive thinking of what we're, And I think with me, it's cultural. I know it's cultural. With my experience, I've had people tell me I'm negative. I've had people stop me in the middle of a conversation, a group conversation, because I was bringing the place down, and all I was doing is viewing an opinion. And I realized something where I come from, or at least a band of friends I had. If you were a fuck up, they'll tell you, why are you acting like a fuck up? The band of the hand of honesty and no bullshit is kind of where I came from. Literally. I mean, they'll still be your friends, but they'll just say you're acting like a fucking retard, cut it out. And that brutal honesty you would respect, And it's kind of funny. A lot of people grow up in different environments. I kind of grew up in a biker town. I remember in the 70s, it would be uncommon to have 50 to 150 motorcycles tear by me. Scared the shit out of me. You're like, say, like 5 or 6 years old, and you got these Harleys blasting away, But a lot of those their kids were my friends. So, yeah, I had the local chapters, and they had the bigger chapters, of course, you had Hell's Angels, because I was, Massachusetts. But you had the Barons, you had, you have the Headsmen, and some other, local guys. But they had this, I would say, a code. It was just more of a no bullshit attitude towards life and each other. They didn't have time for overdue politeness or all these other things. And I find that in our social mores, if you would, a lot of the people in a lot of witchcraft or pagan groups are very walk on eggshells with each other because they didn't want to offend the other person, or they really cared about what the other person thought. So I always find it funny when the term negative people come. I mean, if you got someone who's just pissing on a fucking party and bring everybody down, well, you invited the asshole. You know what not to do. Or you don't have the intestinal fortitude to say, hey, you gotta go because you're a retard. You see, if you're just direct with somebody, it doesn't mean you're negative. You're actually being more positive because you're not bullshitting yourself, and you're not going to bullshit the people around you. And that's the one thing I've noticed. There's a lot of bullshit going on. And that's when I see other people out there, whether it be public, private, or on the web. When I see the word negative, I'm kind of thinking, from what perspective, from what angle? Because I've been told I've been negative a lot, right? I'm a big bad meanie because I'm blunt and I'm honest. But if I'm blunt and I'm honest, I should be a fucking god compared to some of these assholes out there who sit there and play tra-la-la-la-la and are the most two-faced motherfuckers on earth. And then these are the people who actually name videos after, show screen pics of, and, retard. Just so people understand what a retard looks like. I might not be the most gentle person, but I will be direct with you. I will be the person who's going to tell you, fucked up. But, some people respect me for it, and some people just think I'm just a tyrant, and this is what I do. I think my attack or my attention to such things or such mores is that when you're dealing with people with this politeness stuff, It don't work. I think more importantly, if you are going to be more so polite, or if you care about other people, I just recently posted up a Lao Tzu photo. It was pretty cool. It said, care about what others people think, and you'll always be their prisoner. So it makes me wonder how many people are wearing a ball and chain with someone else's name on it. And then if you think about it really long and hard, how many could say the same for me? But I'll be lying if I said I didn't care. We all care to a point. It's how we act upon the caring, right? So when you go off and you really give a shit about what another person has to say, why? If it's an adversary, you know, it's a delicate ego fighting another delicate ego. You know, in my paradigm of Satanism, plenty of weak fucking egos, and I can stand in line for that too from time to time. But bottom line, when we have battle of wit or will, you know, what is the final outcome except for one walking out as a triumphant winner? No, because at that point you're both losers. Fighting with the ego doesn't work, I see. I mean, if you're going to have a good debate, have a debate. But if you're debating because you have an inferiority complex, then there's no sense in debating. You lost before you even started. But I'm off track because this thing about this negative thing, I always find it funny. I see it, I mean, even with the paradigms. I talk about, you know, keep away from the negative. If you truly, whether it be socially, spiritually, get rid of the negative, how do you know it's positive if everything's positive? Where do you know the light from the dark and dark from the light? If anything, you're taking one from the other. Or in other words, you're shaving one side of a coin to appreciate just the other side when you're talking both sides of a coin. To get perspective of positive and negative, you know, I don't say keep all the the asshats around you, but what I would say is I would definitely make an effort to understand the difference. You know, what you like to see, what you don't want to see. You know, not too long ago I tell people that I noticed that people find it easier to tell you what to say and what not to say rather than turn the channel. And that's where I see with a lot of things. And even in paradigms are the same way. Go figure. So when you're freeing yourself from negative people, are you truly freeing yourself from them? Or are you trying to free a part of yourself from something that you recognize that you are? Anyways, this is my 2 cents for what it's worth. Who knows? Who cares? I just found the key word that triggered this video. Negative people. Because without negative people, how would you know what is positive? And what truly is positive? That's all perspective, isn't it?